Now it looks like, whoa, it looks like we got a Sherman tank coming out here for P51 Mustang. And meanwhile, AlaricB has managed to bifurcate this territory once again. You can see these two guys here just fighting off a little bit while Alaric tries to take control of the victory point. And still dominant central control. It looks like we've got a couple of prepared grenadiers out here. These guys come complete with an MG42. You can see that gentleman there. And a Panzerschreck. Meanwhile, we've got the accomplished Volksgrenadiers coming on down, and I like that. He's using the smoke once again to provide a little bit of cover just to hopefully let these engineers finish capping that. Otherwise, looks like the advanced defense engineers are tasked with recovering some of the backyard territory that's been lost here. And it looks like, ooh, not only is it a Sherman, but it is a skilled Sherman. Skilled Sherman, again, I was talking earlier about the fact that the skilled prefix is used across multiple units there. Skilled Sherman is no exception. And you can see there is a nicely timed flare there by AlaricB. So AlaricB is well aware that there's a Sherman on the field. In fact, he is already on the ball and has his own anti-tank gun. We've got a little bit of skirmishing going on here between the remains of this engineer. And looks like, unfortunately, he's not retreating. I'm not sure why, but he's taking a lot of damage here. I'm sure there's just too much else going on, what with the micro of the Sherman, for him to be aware of this going on this side of the map right now. Hey, check it out. It looks like these Volksgrenadiers have a Browning automatic rifle. So if I had to guess, I'd say this skilled Sherman pulled up just a little bit, got picked at by this anti-tank gun and backed off. Once again, we've got this skilled rifleman on this side of the field here, and just look at how hard this position is to flank. I mean, it really is impossible to flank without having to go all the way the hell around the map. So AlaricB definitely knows this map pretty well, and it's got some good positioning out there. You can see once again that what applies to infantry also applies to tanks. If it's hard to flank with infantry and you have a anti-tank gun back there, it's also hard to flank with Shermans. You can see the Sherman has nowhere to go right now. Anywhere it goes, it gets picked off, and man, skilled riflemen, get out of there! Ah! Looks like they just no! Oh, picked off at the prime of their youth. So sad. So down here at the bottom, accomplished Volksgrenadiers recapping. Looks like these little field pioneers already with one building kill are trying to go for a second building kill, taking out the rest of that other observation post. I do like this centralized anti-tank gun here. It can basically cover this entire main corridor, which is the only place that vehicles can come in for the most part. Vehicles can sneak up this hill here and kind of try and drive around the map, but again, all those flanking paths are so twisted and long and complicated that this kind of central control is really all you need. So it looks like for the time being, AlaricB has just got dominating control here. So gonna have to see what P51 Mustang's coming up with. Looks like right now building some more engineers, building some more riflemen. That's got to be the Wilson's riflemen getting replaced there. The skilled Sherman backed off and got repaired here by the advanced defense engineers, and he is just looking for a flank. You can tell he's trying to sneak around on the sides of the map and get some action on this Fatherland HMG team, but you can see by that path, even if he was trying to just kind of sneak up on it, he has to go so far all the way around here, and it's so obvious any machine gun could just turn on him. So looks like AlaricB has got serious advantage at the moment. Notice the constant air reconnaissance, of course. Airborne players always take note of that. Just don't ever forget that's there. That's one of those abilities that if you use it every cooldown, especially if you've spec'd into it so that it's free, to quote Day 9, you're trading the out-of-game resource, i.e. your memory, remembering to use it, for the in-game resource of knowing where your opponent's units are. So very important to pay attention to that. Meanwhile, we can see that the Volksgrenadiers are aware that something is afoot up here, and so is the Fatherland HMG team. God, that guy is so fast, he just has no trouble sprinting all the way up here. You can see setting up in a nice little defensive position, Volksgrenadiers as well. And these intrepid riflemen here are just kind of looking for some free targets. Look at that, just totally suppressed right now. He doesn't care if he's shooting into rock directly in front of him. That'll suppress a mile away. Here's the best attempt at a flank. Looks like Wilson's riflemen are coming right in now that they've seen that. Now that they've seen that HMG team reposition. Oh my God! A grenade in close quarters in the tunnels. Oh, but it only kills one guy. Huh? Surprise. Oh well. Wilson's riflemen taking a ton of damage right now. Once again, these prepared grenadiers with their MG42 machine gun just do a lot of damage. And this machine gun as well, just able to seriously suppress the riflemen who were trying to get any sort of a flank on. Really just having no luck whatsoever. These engineers just trying their best to see if they can at least get a decap before having to retreat. And here comes the full front of the firepower now. Will they get it? Oh, one guy goes down, and he decaps it. going to have to retreat right away. So just trying to be a little bit of a nuisance there. And it looks like the skilled Sherman is kind of driving around here trying to get something done, but as you can see, there are all these neutral tank traps all over the map, and he really has to go the long way if he wants to go any way at all. And now he's just kind of stranded out here. There's really no good way for him to get out of here, and he is surrounded by not one but two stormtroopers, and I believe as well we do have the prepared grenadiers coming in here for the kill. So lots of Panzer Treks flying back and forth. These advanced defense engineers are there, but there's no way they can repair that. Really, all of these guys have to get out of here, or we need a strafing run or something, but unfortunately, no munitions, and the skilled Sherman goes down to Panzer Trek fire, and even a little bit of Browning automatic rifle fire. Look at that guy. I love him. Anyhow, so anti-tank gun even pointing up on the hill, hoping to get a piece of that if you could, but that's not going to happen either. So for the time being, man, this terrain is just so cluttered up. It's really, really hard for allies to get anything done out here. So I really appreciate AlaricB's positioning on this map. It's pretty cool. It's more or less exactly what I would expect. And I really want to see what Allied players come up with for beating this kind of thing. Because obviously, as you can see, P51Mustang went into a pretty normal build order. He did some clever stuff at the beginning here, but really this is just a bunch of riflemen going into fast tank. You know, nothing fancy about that. But I really think that this map in particular, especially for Allied players, is going to require them to do a little thinking outside of their normal build orders to be able to get advantages here. Because as you can see, I think a lot of players are used to having really being able to rely on their ability to be clever and flank with riflemen, and it's just so hard to do any sort of flanking in this situation. Here we've got a nice little standoff. These riflemen are very outnumbered, but as you can see, they have the directional cover. This directional green cover meaning that they're taking very little damage, whereas a lot of these units are exposed or are probably not getting directional cover. So they can probably last there for quite a while. Well, meanwhile, it looks like these flamethrower engineers kind of sneaking around a little bit, but unfortunately, now we do have the prepared grenadiers coming in from behind. That negates their cover completely. Throwing a stick bomb, and whoa, they totally get out of there in time. But in the little interim where they pop out of that cover, they take extra casualties there from that fire, and now they're just forced to retreat here. So, ooh, check out this little band of cloaked guys up here. It's kind of cool. Anyhow, everybody else heading out. Looks like the flamethrower engineers just kind of trying to cap this, but at this time I don't see too many other things. Oh, and it looks like, oh, check this out, by the way. Let's see if it's still going on. Someone pointed this out to me in the forums today. Yes, you can see it right there. See that little firing shot right there? He's absolutely right. When you fire a rocket barrage into someone's base, which is what's going on right now, by the way, the rockets actually come from the exact center of the map. They have to be fired from somewhere, apparently. And so even when the aftershocks goes off, if you stare at this point in the map, I'll try to remember that, you'll see all the rockets firing up out of the ground just really quickly. It's kind of weird. I don't really think it's a bug. I think it's just how they programmed it or something. But anyhow, so that's kind of like the the last insult is rocket barraging the base here. So, oh boy, and I don't know if you guys caught that. I'm going to pause again right here, but all of these units up here on the cliff were able just to kind of gun down the guys who were trying to pick that off. So even though this looks like a really awkward angle, you can totally shoot from the bottom all the way up like that. So, going to have to see if there's any hope for anything else that P51Mustang can muster at the moment. You can see at some point he did actually back tech to a weapon support center, but I haven't seen any units out of it for him. In fact, he has almost no units at all. And oh my god, here comes another rocket barrage, I believe. Here comes another rocket barrage. Oh, quick, let me pause it and see if we can see it. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Yes, look at that. Look at those rockets firing up out of there. Sorry, I should be actually watching the action. Anyhow, that's one of those silly little interesting things. So, anyhow, looks like this machine gun emplacement is firing away, but not really getting anything done. He was clearly just coming in there to get sight to be able to drop that rocket barrage. But for the time being, really nothing left for P51Mustang. But that's definitely a good game, and I think it illustrated some of the more interesting points. I'm pretty sure that that is Polish for good game. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this. HarlequinCoHO here. If you did like it, please feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, I will sniff you jerks later.